Yes. Do you want to wait till 3 o'clock or do you want to just go now? It's kind of nitpicky, but up to you.
Hey, welcome to the Who You Know Job Networking Show, where what you know is important,
but
who you know can make all the difference in your job search.
that's the one.
Super excited. We've got a great show for you today, brought to you by Career Launch Live 2020.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yes. So for all of you that are watching Career Launch 2020, hello. We're super excited to be with you today. And hopefully we can bring some value to your show over there on your pages. So we've got some very special guests with us today. We've got the one, the only, Andi Cook.
Hello, everyone.
Andi,
I love your new studio.
You like this?
I love it. It's fabulous.
This is
We
nice.
see cool cars going back there.
Yeah.
That's a nice couch. I like that couch.
Yep.
That is.
I am obsessed with the pink chair.
You like that?
I do.
Is it comfy?
Absolutely. But most importantly, it's pink.
Get in touch with that.
Tell us how y'all.
I don't know if you
think
can
about
see
it.
my purse over there that's hot pink. Like,
Oh,
see,
it
That should be over here, probably.
yeah. Tell us what you guys think about the new dig.
Yeah, the
Love
new
it.
digs. We also have another very special guest with us today. We've got David Shriner-Cahn. What's up, David?
Hello, David.
David.
How you guys doing? Good to be here.
Man, It's
Doing
it's
great.
great here in Dallas. Tell us real quick, where are you zooming in from?
New York City.
Hey.
NYC. Okay. All right.
Well, we're excited to have you here with us. Before we dive into all the content and all the information, we want to go straight to the audience, see
Yep.
who we've got checked in with us. We've got a very good audience. Patricia, we've got Lauren Nee, we've got Amanda Christian. Hey, how are you doing, Amanda? Dolores, Lisa Lowry in the house. What's up, Lisa?
Of course,
Lisa,
Lisa
Lisa.
with us.
Yeah, we got Doug Ellerbrock, Bridget Moreau, Amy Wilson. We just saw and talked to Amy not too long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Amy Hubbard.
Yeah,
lot of
guys.
people. Meg Rose, our hype person, right?
Yeah,
Our hype woman.
We got Meg Rose online, the hype lady. So guys, make sure you
Meg
are
Rose.
checking in with us. We need to know a couple of things. First of all, where are you tuning in from? That's important. We got folks like David, who's coming all the way out from New York City to be with you
Absolutely.
today.
Quick,
So
too.
we want to know where you're tuning in from. Super important. We got people from all over the world. We also want to know what you're searching for. If you're a job seeker, I need to know. Hashtag project management. Isn't that right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that in a second. Andi has actually hired from these live comments, okay? She's done that. So make sure you're putting what you're searching for. If it's project management or IT or whatever it is, make sure we know what that is.
Yes.
If you're a company and you're hiring right now, I want you to put hashtag now hiring, or maybe if you're just supporting the network, we want to hear from you too. So please, please, please check in with us. We'd love to hear from you.
And to that note, if you are a recruiter or hiring manager and you're part of our network and watching the show, put what you're looking for.
Yes,
Right?
yes,
What you're looking for.
yes.
And connect with those people that are putting what they're searching for. Like, it's great. Build your pipelines.
Build that pipeline.
100%. So I'm pulling up the computer in here so we can see the live comments.
Laura Van Camp's with us from way up there.
Yeah.
St. Louis.
Fantastic.
John Sparenberg. What's up, John?
John.
Hey, John.
I always love to see John on because John and I
I
worked
know.
together at CompuCom.
Yeah.
Oh, did you?
We were on the help desk together. Third shift.
Nice.
Graveyard
Wow.
crew. Yeah.
Okay.
Small world.
John's like my brother, so.
Love it. We worked together.
Well, we always like to bless this show with a prayer for the listeners. So, Foster, will you do us the honors today?
I will be more than glad that, guys, today's a good day to pray. But so was yesterday and the day before and the day before that. So let's go to the Lord in prayer. Father, we are a bunch of job seekers, and we're trying to figure out where you want us. There's a lot of things that are going on in the world. We might agree, we may not agree, but you know what? You know, so you teach us where we need to go. You orchestrate, continue to orchestrate the things that you do, and get us to the right place as far as what you want us to do in life. One of those things is job, and that's what we're focusing on right now. We pray these things in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. We've got a lot to be thankful for. There's a lot of landings, actually, which is shocking, I know, because of what's going on in the world.
There's going to be a lot of those we're going to be sharing.
Yep. Well, I mean, the lights are slowly turning back on.
They're slowly turning back on.
Right?
There. People are figuring out what to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to adapt. We're going to survive. You know, we're not just going to not.
Yeah, I
We're
think
gonna
a lot of the landings that we've heard about, they mentioned at Frisco Connect yesterday that the healthcare, right? Healthcare sector is very
sectors,
active right now.
Yeah, and that makes sense.
Especially companies that support healthcare, not necessarily your hospitals that have lost so much money because elective procedures are out, but the companies that support them and third-party vendors are definitely doing some hiring.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Well, guys, get your hands ready on LinkedIn, okay? We've got 3 that we're aware of, and we always would like to know if you've landed. Please share that story.
Yeah, y'all let us know.
Yeah, you can share
We're
your
family.
story.
You may feel like it, but we're family, y'all.
100%. So we got 3 that we're aware of. Linda Howard, congratulations, Linda Howard.
Hey, Linda.
Hey. So hands on LinkedIn, guys. We need to see that. Also, you want to say Gene's last?
Gene DeForbritis. He is the general manager for Serve Pro for South Frisco. Well, actually, all of Frisco when it boils down to it, and the Colony. So it has taken quite some time. Gene and his wife, Deanna. Hey, Deanna, moved here from a long way away, California. And it took a while, but we got there through prayer.
Nice.
Love it.
All right.
Well, congratulations,
Gino.
Gino.
Love it.
And last but not least,
Zach Metz.
Zach Metz.
Yes,
Oh,
software
yeah.
developer. He was in the market for about 2 months, which is really odd for software developers.
I know.
But he has a very niche skill set. And so he did a video that we blasted out. And within 15 minutes of that video, he started getting a bunch of interview requests.
There you
and
guys. Hey.
So
Video did it again. So video worked for Linda Howard. It worked for Clay Timmons. It worked for Zach Metz.
Who else, right?
Just thinking, guys. Just
only
thinking.
there was a common denominator.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, don't forget, there is one more. Carlos Pena.
Oh, Carlos Pena.
Carlos.
Round of applause
Right.
for Carlos.
He actually, I've got his email right here. Dell Technologies as a pricing manager through VirtuStream.
Nice.
Yep,
Great.
starting June 8th. So next week, coming up, Carlos.
That
Carlos,
sounds
did
smart.
you do a video?
Yes, it does sound smart.
Yep.
All of what you just said sounds real smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Carlos
Carlos-
is smart. Hey,
We need
Carlos
you.
good
is
on you,
smart.
Carlos.
Yeah.
We need you, Carlos, because we need smart people in the world. Just saying.
Carlos, you're buying barbecue, bro.
That's right.
All right. So, guys, congratulations to all of those folks that we just mentioned. And again, if you've landed, please tell us your story. Those stories are not only encouraging for us, but also the other job seekers that are out there. It shows them how things are actually happening out there and what's actually going on, what's working.
Right.
Because we know a lot of stuff that doesn't work. What is working,
Yeah.
right? So, Mark, let's. Well, actually, before we go to the tip of the week, let's go to events. So, guys, we've got a new thing that we want to roll out. This is brand new, thanks to Real News PR. Y'all are awesome.
You guys are awesome.
We have a new website, so you guys can check out, get a lot
Get
more
out.
information.
Yeah.
That website is whoyouknow.show. Okay, whoyouknow.show. Pretty easy.
With a YA. Who ya?
Yeah, whoyouknow.show.
Right. The way we say it in Texas.
Don't try to get proper.
I did a poll on LinkedIn.
No proper English, forget it.
To try to figure out what was the best, because we had a bunch of domain names and things like that, and what people liked the most. And actually,
We're already branded there, so.
it was all of them were very equal. I was shocked.
Yeah.
I
Was
didn't
it?
see one that stood out. Everybody voted, and it was like 33%, 33%, 33. Like,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
So I
Can
just picked
somebody
the one I
get
liked the
34?
I love it.
Whoyouknow.show.
I love that.
And we've got a lot of information on there. There's events on there. There's resources on there, guys. So, guys, make sure you check that out and tell us what you think. And, Mark, will you
Yeah, let's
lead us
tip of
off
the
with
day.
the tip of the week?
Tip of the week. So, tip of the week. Actually, I've got two. I've got two tips. So, One is related to what we get asked a lot because we're making introductions for people. And so a lot of times it's via LinkedIn. And we tell folks, once we make the introduction, ask for the conversation and then take that offline outside of LinkedIn. A lot of people don't know what to say, what to ask, how to foster that conversation. And so one of the suggestions that I have for that, or tips that I have for that, is let them know, because this just happened. I saw somebody we made an introduction to, the other individual replied, and the person we introduced them to said, well, what would you like to talk about? What is this about? And so what I would recommend is just put this out there that, hey, I'm conducting some research into people's experience at different companies, and I would love to get an idea and some feedback from you about how your experience at your company has been in the work that you're doing. Would love to have that conversation if you want to book some time, and then have a scheduler that you can use, Calendly, of course.
Yep.
Put that in, and that way you can get people to actually bite, right? To take the bait and get that conversation going. So once you've entered into the conversation, maybe it's a phone call or a Zoom or what have you, go into them, right? Just like you had told them you would. Ask about their experience, ask about what the work it is that they're doing there, how they've felt the company has treated them. Just really get them talking. And I think through that, you'll find that the barriers will come down, the wall comes down, they get more comfortable with you.
It's like dating, right? So if you think of it that way, if someone introduced me to a woman, right, and they were trying to do like an introduction, right? You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, hey, here, Trevor, meet Andy, and I'm like, Andy, you want to get married?
Exactly.
Right.
I use this phrase a lot. Don't get married on the first date.
And she's gonna be
Like
like,
Love at First Sight, that show.
Right. Right.
Yes.
You're gonna be kind of freaked out, huh?
Absolutely. We're not going to go on a date.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Wow, y'all not getting him date?
But wouldn't you be much more comfortable if they actually showed some interest, asked you questions like, what kind of music do you like? What do you like?
Absolutely.
What do you like
Or,
to do?
Where's
hey,
your
let's
favorite
grab a
barbecue
coffee and
place?
just talk about,
Okay.
get to know each other.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Guys, virtual coffee, okay? This is
Virtual
called
coffee.
Zoom. You need to have
Yeah.
your own Zoom account. It's free, okay?
Yeah.
Go get you a Zoom account, okay?
Yep.
And do that. So,
So,
great points. Great tip.
Number two,
Love that.
tip of the week number 2 is being very specific, intentional at job fairs. Right now, job fairs have kind of shut down, but they're going to be ramping up again, right? We're reopening.
They will be.
A lot of people go into a job fair and they don't really have an agenda or a specific plan, and so they're just walking through the aisles like cattle, right, being herded through. Make sure that if you know that you're going to a job fair, research who's going to be there. Make sure that you research the companies and target the specific people that you want to talk to, and then make sure that you seek them out. You can go in. It's just like a networking event where you go in and you have a purpose, and maybe you go into that networking event, you talk to a handful of people, not everybody there, right, to your
Right.
purpose, right? Make sure that you get that accomplished.
Well, and it can go the same way with a virtual career fair, because guess what? We're on one right now. Career Launch 2020. Shout out.
Career
okay?
Launch 2020.
Go look up the agenda. When you go to careerlaunch2020.com, you can go and look at the agenda of all the speakers and companies and all the resources that they're bringing to you. And why wouldn't you go outside and connect with these folks and try to get conversations started and have your own agenda, right? Like, anyways, just throwing that out there. It can
so
work
smart.
virtual. It can work in person.
You have to
Andy's
walk
been
in.
at a number of job fairs.
Absolutely, and you have to walk in knowing what problems you solve. People don't hire problems, they hire solutions.
True.
So if you come in and your whole goal is, I need a job, you're focused on your problem. They don't hire you based on your problem. If you go in and focused on, I can solve this problem for a company, and they're like, hey, we actually have that problem, let's talk more. That's how you get
If
jobs.
somebody comes up to you in a job fair and they have a specific question about something that is relevant to your company, maybe even something that you're looking for,
Yes.
Andy, what about this? Do they have a little bit more of your attention than just maybe somebody standing in line?
Absolutely. Because a lot of times what happens is people will come up to me and they'll say, hey, I'm looking for a job. Okay, great. What do you want to do? I don't know. I'll do anything. I just need a job.
No.
I can't do anything with that. If you want to make a recruiter's eye explode, that's what you need to tell them. I just want to do anything. Just give me a job. I need a foot in the door, because we don't know
Get
how
down
to
with that.
match that with anything.
Got it.
And I can't make a connection or introduction on that.
You said it. Bottom line is you solve a problem, okay? When you go to Home Depot, you don't buy the drill, okay? Well, you do buy the drill, but why are you buying the drill? Because you need a hole in the wall. right?
You might want to ask them for a specific drill.
You don't
for
buy
this
a hole in the
specific
wall.
thing.
You buy a drill.
Well, but no, the drill is the solution.
Right.
That gives you, to that problem. What you needed, what you really needed was that hole in the wall. You needed the
Right.
hole in the wall, and the drill is just the tool. So you are the tool. You're the mechanism to solve the
I think
problem.
we should do that. We should have a video of you going into like Home Depot and going, I just want to buy a hole in the
Can I
wall.
buy a hole in the wall? They're like, huh?
Y'all have a hole-
Exactly.
y'all have a hole in the wall?
Anybody got holes? Anyways, we digress. All right, so tip of the weeks, real quick.
Love it.
Let's sum it up. Virtual career fairs, have an agenda, connect with people. And what was the first one you said?
He don't remember.
Be intentional about your connection.
Well, the connections, having the conversation in the connection, how to have the conversation.
Informational interviews.
Right, and what to ask, what
Yeah.
to talk about. Because a lot of
Taking
people
it offline,
they're like fish out of the water. They don't know what to talk about.
Yeah. Get your informational interviewing skills up, guys. That's what you need to do. All right. Real quick, before I'm super excited. We got David here all the way from New York. I don't want to leave you hanging. So, but before we get to David, we're going to go to a real quick commercial break. Can we play, first time, we're going to debut it here on the Who You Know show. Super excited for Amanda Christian. Can we play her
really?
video,
Right,
please?
Amanda.
This is my very first LinkedIn video. Hi, my name is Amanda Christian. I am a certified HR professional with over 10 years of HR experience here in the DFW area. I help small to medium-sized businesses implement HR practices that improve efficiencies and compliance. I especially like to bring HR information systems and new technology to business owners. Be on the lookout for more content from me to be of a resource to business owners and HR professionals. I'm looking to grow my network here on LinkedIn, so please tag any professionals that you feel like I should be connected with. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Let's give a round of applause for
Hey.
Amanda.
Fantastic.
Guys, tag Amanda so that she knows if she's not watching. I want her to know that she was just debuted first time. And we're also going to be putting that commercial on our pages. So you guys check it out there. Companies.
Share it for her.
Yeah, share it for her.
Yes.
Sharing is caring. Okay.
And Amanda, get ready to do that next week on Wednesday at our HR meeting.
Hey, there we go. All right. So without further delay, let's go right in, man. David, what's going on, buddy? How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Man, it's good to see you here with us. How are things in New York?
Things are still pretty shut down.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the temperature? What's the weather like in New York today?
It's warming up. It was pretty chilly the last couple of days. It's supposed to be
yeah.
hot for here.
Yeah.
Well, David, we're excited to have you here with us. David is the host of Going Solo, right, and Smashing the Plateau podcast. And, tell us a little bit about Going Solo and how you started that and why you started that podcast.
Actually, I'll back up and tell you about Smashing the Plateau first because I
Okay.
started that one in 2014. I like meeting people. I like having conversations, particularly with new people, and I found that podcasting was a good medium for me. So we launched Smashing the Plateau to help entrepreneurs navigate transitions. And if you look at what entrepreneurs aspire to achieve, they very often will aspire to achieve a breakthrough. And the reality is, if you look beneath the covers of a breakthrough, it's actually hundreds or probably more like thousands of tiny steps and pivots that they've taken over a long period of time. And it takes a lot of discipline, a lot of focus, and a lot of perseverance to be able to get to the point where somebody else knows something that they perceive as a breakthrough. So we launched the show to talk to entrepreneurs about how they have navigated transitions and particularly dealt with roadblocks that they have encountered. And the focus has been primarily entrepreneurs that are in the second half of their career. So people that are looking to be entrepreneurs for decades, not for a year or two. And then last year we launched a second show, Going Solo, which is about a transition that I noticed in the Smashing the Plateau audience was pretty prevalent, which is experts that work in their field for often 20 to 30 years or more in corporate. They get fired usually not performance related,
Right.
and then they start a consulting or a coaching business.
We've seen that.
And it's being successful as an expert, as an employee, is a very different skill set from being a successful business owner.
Right.
So what I see so many consultants and coaches want to do is they want to deliver great results to their clients, which they do when they have clients. But the whole building the business thing is something that they have never dealt with before, and the transition is really tough. And if you add on top of that, that they're starting their business because they've been fired, there are some other barriers they have to deal with before they can even focus on the business building strategy.
They got to let go of some baggage. It sounds like maybe
Oh,
some
yes,
hang-ups.
big time.
Yeah. Do you feel like anybody can be an entrepreneur?
No.
I agree with that.
I do too.
Yeah, it's a very different mindset. If you're somebody that doesn't like structure imposed on you, yet you can be very structured on your own, you can likely you have that's one of the key ingredients to be successful as an entrepreneur.
Well, it's almost like that, the analogy of dentists, right? A lot of dentists are great dentists, but they're not so great business owners, right? They don't necessarily know how to run a business. So that's
Yeah,
why
they
you see
can drill on people, but
Yeah.
marketing and everything else that goes into a business. There's so many
Not the
departments.
drill that we get at Home Depot.
Yeah, not that drill. Yeah. So is that what happened to you? Did something happen? Didn't you go through in corporate America and all that kind of stuff? Like we see it a lot. I mean, there's a lot of people that climb that corporate ladder. They get to the top, and then companies restructure, right? And it's all about the bottom line. Yep, Foster, you can relate. And next thing you know, you find yourself back looking for work. Was that? I think we had talked. Was that happen? Did that happen to you?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was an employee for 28 years, and I've been an entrepreneur for 14.
Wow. Wow.
I bet you like that entrepreneurship a whole lot better. That probably fits David's direction a lot better in life.
I have a good friend who made the transition much earlier in his career, and he was nagging me for, I don't know, probably 15 years, saying, "Why don't you just do what I'm doing?" And I'm like, "Nah, I need the paycheck, I got bills to pay,
Oh yeah.
Same excuses everybody else
That
has."
is tough.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm curious as to the audience. So if anybody in the audience has dealt with this, right? Again, we see it all the time. I want you to know that you're not alone, right? It's something that is very, very common. It's something that we see probably more than anything else, where people spend a lot of time at a company and they move up, and those companies restructure, and again, it's all about money. So, just know that you're not alone, guys. A lot of people are going through this. We'd love to hear from you online. If you've gone through that, please comment in. We'd love to hear from you.
So while we're looking for this, I want to ask David a question. David, would you say, and I'll use you as an example, was there a time in your career that you feel like you weren't ready to become an entrepreneur? You needed the skills that you learned on that job, or was it really just a matter of taking that step and you had that innately within you?
Well, the reality is I was probably never ready to become an entrepreneur. Maybe I'm still not ready to become an entrepreneur.
Entrepreneurs are crazy, aren't they? We're all nuts.
Well, the thing is, if we stay inside our comfort zone, we are not going to grow.
That's
true. Right? So one of the things you really have to be ready to do is you need to be ready to leap. You think about even in the job search, when you go into a new job, you're in a new situation with new people. It very often is not very comfortable at the beginning.
100%. Yeah. I mean, the first
So
time
good.
you do anything, you're not going to be good at it, right? I mean, our first show, you remember
Oh
that?
my God, our first show, y'all.
It was bad.
Yeah.
Literally, the owner of the studio, we were at KVGI, Mark Warner was like, "Guys, that was bad. That was rough." We were like reading scripts and like trying to be all, it was bad. It was just awful. The first time you do anything, I guarantee you the first basket that Michael Jordan shot, he probably didn't make it. I don't know if that's true or not, but I would think that he probably didn't make the shot.
Yeah.
When he was like 2, he probably missed that one.
He probably
Yeah,
did.
you probably missed
Right?
Then Mark told us, "You guys need to turn it loose. Come on now, y'all didn't let your hair down." And we said, "Oh yeah."
Yeah, he said, "You need to be more real, more authentic.
Right.
David, I've got
Yeah,
a question
but here's
for you.
the thing. Yeah, I just want to say one thing about this, especially when it comes to content creation. Like for those of us that have shows, I hear this a lot, which is if you're not embarrassed by your first episode, you waited too long
Yeah.
to release it. Right. So the same thing is true in everything else in life. If you're not embarrassed by the first time you take a step and you don't make some mistakes, you waited too long.
Our first episode was live, so it was released as we were doing, you know what I mean? We do everything live. I love it. It's actually a skill because it has formed a lot of like pressured environments where we actually thrive pretty well under pressure. Do you remember like CityWorks?
Oh, yeah.
And all the events that we've done where
All
it's
of our
just
growth
been
pains.
a lot of chaos around us, and we're trying to do a show around chaos. Yeah, it's fun.
Technology not working.
And guess what?
People not working.
What's that?
You don't have to agonize over editing.
That's true.
Like, is it edited enough? No,
yeah.
it's edited live. So
Yeah.
there's no editing.
Touche.
So, David,
Very true.
I have a question for you. In talking about how you stepped out, right? You took that leap of faith and put yourself out there, got out of your comfort zone. What are some of the things that I guess continued to drive you, right? As far as maybe running into obstacles, and I'm sure you probably got to some points where you're like, I've thought about throwing in the towel. Like, what are some of the things that got you through that?
Actually, who you know is probably the most important thing. No, seriously, you got to hang around the right people.
Drop it.
You got to hang around the right people. So
Good
John Lee
network,
Dumas, who's a very successful podcaster, he's somebody I really admire. He came on my show, and one of the things he talked about was when he told his family that he was planning to start a 7-day-a-week business podcast in 2012, when it's pretty much unheard of. And he was quitting law school to do this. His family and his friends told him, John, you're crazy. And what he did was he ended up joining a mastermind with other entrepreneurs, and it was a game changer for him.
You know, I love it because podcasts and shows like this, there's a real value to it now that, like, okay, I'll give you an example. Joe Rogan, right?
Oh,
You
man,
guys hear
yeah.
that he sold his show for like, I think it was 60 million. I could be wrong about that number. 60 million or something
A
like
lot of
that.
money.
A lot.
Whatever it is, it's a big enough number.
Big enough number, yep. And it's because there were some social media platforms that were kind of censoring him and kind of like not allowing him to be as creative as he wants to be. And he's out there, guys. We know Joe Rogan's out
Yeah.
there. But they were censoring him, and YouTube wasn't allowing him to do what he wanted to do and things like that. So he went to a different platform, and they paid him like $60 million. And, you know, anyways, there's a business in podcasts. That's why they're becoming so popular.
Right.
Yeah.
Golly, he went from Fear Factor to the UFC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To now the highest paid podcast
Is he now?
in America or the world. I
Yeah.
don't know. But
Is he now?
Yeah, the highest paid one. Yep.
But that's a great point, I think, that you made, David. I mean, it's the network, it's the support. That's one of the other tips I was going to maybe use today. But just surrounding yourself by the right people,
Absolutely.
Yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Positive
in the job
people.
search and starting a business, anything that you do.
I'm convinced that there's something in each one of us that God gave us, guys, and you'd be surprised if you exhibit that. You'd be surprised how much support you get and what it would do. Andi is one of those people that we all noticed when she showed up. Oh my God, this lady knows what she's talking about, and we didn't read nothing about her.
Yep. 100%. David, okay, a couple more questions I have for you. You know, when you were starting your show, right, getting started as an entrepreneur and stepping outside your comfort zone, what were some of the biggest things that you had to overcome, biggest fears that you had to overcome, or how did you overcome those challenges and fears?
Well, one of the things that I started doing early on as an entrepreneur was business networking, right? Going back to relationship building and who you know. A friend of mine invited me to a BNI meeting. I'd never heard of BNI, didn't know anything about business networking. I'd never stood up in front of a room of 30 or 40 people and given a 60-second pitch about myself.
Yeah.
I had no idea what to do.
Yep.
Yeah, I was clueless about it.
Do you have an elevator pitch
but
now?
Yeah, we help entrepreneurs navigate transitions.
Love it. Short.
Love it.
It's not even 60 seconds. That's like
No.
3
Yeah.
seconds.
But it says everything.
Explaining it, yeah.
Yep.
It was
Value
BNI.
The longer
David, in
one,
which I
yeah.
discovered LinkedIn. I first heard about
Yep.
LinkedIn at BNI. Now that was years ago.
Long time.
But I've been on LinkedIn for a while now, and it's substantially grown.
Guys, online watching, you need to be thinking of your value statement, your what do you do statement, your you learned about it 2 episodes ago with Shay Rowbottom. I help X accomplish Y using Z, right?
Yes.
She gave you the formula.
That was awesome.
Okay, you need to be crafting these statements, write them out. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to use all these big words. Matter of fact, keep it simple. The more simple and easy it is for people to understand what problem you solve, like you will attract what you're trying to attract. So
It doesn't have to be complicated.
it doesn't have
Like
to be.
what's yours?
I help job seekers get noticed, create opportunities, and take control of the financial impact of job loss.
Love it. I help job seekers navigate the digital hiring process using updated technologies.
There you go.
That's great.
So yeah, guys, I want you to be thinking of this. This could also be like your headline on your LinkedIn profile instead of
Yes.
all this other stuff, because I see a lot of headlines
much.
where I look at it and I don't know what you do. You know, anyway, you may have alphabet soup in there,
Yes.
is what I call your alphabet soup.
You have over-degreed yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Shout out to Kyle Knutson. He's at our firm and he's got all the designations. He's got
You got acronyms all the way around the
oh,
building.
he's got all.
Yeah.
I mean, literally A B C F Y Z G K Y L M N O P, like all of them. And I'm like, you used your whole headline for that. He's smart.
And I might remember one of them, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know what any of
I
them
love
mean.
Yes.
Anyway, David, who is one of the most, like when you think of a very, very successful person, a successful entrepreneur,
Love it.
right, who's just crushing it out there, who's the first person that comes to mind?
Actually, one person that comes to mind, especially in what's going on today, is Rick Edelman, who is the founder of Edelman Financial Services.
Okay.
Also a guest on Smashing the Plateau. He talked about when he got started in the 80s, he graduated college with a specialization in communications, and he noticed that there was a gap between people that provided financial advisory services and consumers, that the people that were providing the services were focused on the numbers and the technicalities of managing money. And they weren't necessarily so great at communicating about the problems that consumers were having with personal finance. So he stepped in and he acted as the communicator between them and the customers. And he's been very successful. He's has a company that's many locations. He's also been out there in the media since for decades. He's had shows long before anybody else has had shows like we have shows now. But he's been very successful. And one of the things that he has looked at is what's coming down the pike. What is the future going to bring? And the second time he was on Smashing the Plateau, we talked about his the work that he did to write the book, The Truth About Your Future, which talks about how technology in the age of acceleration is causing some massive changes in the way we live, the way we work.
Yep.
And actually, if you look at the underpinnings of what's going on in 2020, a lot of it is stuff that he's been talking about for years.
Well, he sounds like a visionary, right?
Right.
He's got vision. He sees into the future, right? I mean, he sounds like definitely a successful person. So, yeah. Hey, you know what? I would love if at some point if you could connect me with him. Sounds like a good person for this show, for sure.
Okay, we can talk about it.
Yeah. Make sure let's get connected. What did you say his name was again?
Rick Edelman.
Rick Edelman.
Rick. Yeah.
R-I-C-E-D-E-L-M-A-N.
Cool, cool. One last thing, I would like to know, what is your why? Your why statement, you know,
Yeah,
what
my why
drives you?
statement, every individual has gifts, every team has gifts, every organization has gifts, and when you share your gifts, the world prospers.
I love that.
Boom.
Mic drop.
Yes. I love my order.
That's the
Drop.
way it
So,
is.
so powerful.
Well, David, thank you so much for being with us today. We appreciate you all the way from New York, guys. Let's give David a round of applause
Yes.
on LinkedIn. Thank you so much again for being here.
Thank you all.
We really
Thank you.
appreciate you.
Absolutely, David.
And we'll talk soon, okay?
We
Okay.
have to LinkedIn. You'll see a LinkedIn invite from Foster Williams.
All right, David. Have a good one. All right, guys. What'd you think of David all the way from New York City? Let's hear it on
People in New
LinkedIn.
York. I've noticed
Yes.
that. We've had a couple of people from New York
Yeah.
on this show over the couple of years that we've been in existence.
So let's give some shout outs here. We've got, okay, Amanda Christian. Hey, how are you? Did you see your commercial? Hopefully you saw it. It was awesome. You
rocked
did a
it.
great job.
Yep.
Yep. Doug, Caroline, who else do we got here with us? Let's see. Meg Rose, of course.
Courtney
Our
Melendez.
hype lady. Oh, Amanda's tagging everybody. I love that. Amanda, thank you so much for all those tags.
Chavez.
That brings up a great point. Guys, anybody that you think would benefit from watching this show, tag them. We're also looking to always bring on new guests, people that you think might be a good fit for the show to come on here for us to interview. We would love an introduction. So make sure you're doing that in the comments. And then do not forget to hashtag what you are searching for. That is super important. If it's project management, QA, accounting and finance, make sure you put that in there as well.
You know, you could do in the same post, right? The same comment, hashtag what you're looking for, tag the company that you're looking to get into,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, you can tag a company.
Tag the company.
Tag that company.
Yeah. Tag that company.
Show interest. Hey.
You know what I would do? I would go, here's what I'd do. If I was looking to go to Coca-Cola, right? And that's the company I want to work for. So I'm going to go first follow them, go follow their company page. I'm going to do a search, find the decision makers, okay, the recruiters, the hiring managers. I'm going to find them on LinkedIn, trust me. Once I find them, okay, what do you think I'm going to do from there? I'm going to start tagging it. I'm going to tag the company, and I'm going to tag the recruiters and the hiring managers here in the comments, and they're going to be like, what? Why did I get tagged? Huh? What? And they're going to see the show, and they're going to be like, oh, what? Who? But who tagged me? Who is this? It's like they get to just appear all on the show, and they're like, what? What's happening here?
So can I make a caveat on that?
Yeah.
Don't tag them in a comment that you tagged 40 other people.
Yeah, no.
It drives us crazy, guys, because then we get notified every time somebody comments or likes it, and you're spamming us, and we don't want to talk to you anymore.
That's true.
That's okay,
So-
guys. That's what's called bulk tagging. Okay, and there is strategy to bulk tagging, and there is a time and a place. You have to do it correctly, otherwise it comes off as.
Spamming.
There you go. So that is something that we talk about in our summit, our Who You Know Career Transition Summit, and we teach the correct way to do bulk tagging. So I love that you brought that up.
Here's an example. I had somebody tag me that I had never met
Yep.
because somebody referred them, and they said, I've been looking at Andi Cook's profile. I really like her job seeker tips and I was like, absolutely, I'm going to respond to you, as opposed to being tagged with 40 other people that I'm sitting here going, why was I tagged in this? What does this have to do with me? And I didn't understand the relevancy of it. And so
Yeah, you're like, why?
meaningful tagging is absolutely, and I connected that person,
Yep.
and
You heard it.
Yeah.
Meaningful tagging, okay? It has to be relevant. It has to make sense. I'm not just going to go grab 100 strangers that I don't know and then tag them on a post, and then they're like, who the heck? What is going on here,
Yes.
right? It comes off very spammy.
yeah, say it louder for the people in the back.
Yeah.
Everything we do needs to carry a value, guys. Think about it before you do it.
All right, a couple more shout outs. Mark Lushington Murray, what up, Mark?
Hey, Mark, just talked to you this morning.
Courtney Melendez, Chris Renicky, how are you? Joe Northern, Lisa Lavender, what's up?
Dolores Galt
gotta
is
give-
our hype lady from our HR group. Go, Dolores.
Hey, I saw her.
Good to see you.
So
That
fabulous.
Trevor, I got to give Trevor, I think it's Melendez.
Oh, you heard me laughing about that, huh?
What did I say?
You said Melendez.
Melendez.
Melendez,
Melendez.
Melendez.
Courtney, we don't mean no harm.
Waxahachie,
We don't mean no harm.
Whatever.
Y'all know I can't read.
Louisiana. Yeah.
Trevor said, you know he can't read.
You know I can't read.
Hooked on phonics.
Y'all know it's true. Look, I'm the worst.
My mom taught it.
I'm the worst host there is when it comes to saying names and shout outs. I'm like, yo, we got a.
You know who?
We try to help him.
You know who we got in the comments?
What's that?
We got Vez.
Oh, Vez.
We have Vez
Nicole.
to
We
come
got
on.
Vez in the comments.
Okay,
comments.
real quick.
Y'all know I'm a fan.
Vez
Real
is
quick.
the man, 50 grand.
Let's tell that story real quick, guys.
All right.
So this is important for you guys that are online right now with us. So Andy, when you were working with Matrix,
Absolutely.
right, as a recruiter, so Andy was on the comments and saw Vez Nicomo
Right.
hashtag, what was it, project management?
Project management.
Yeah.
And we had just gotten an order for quite a few. I think we were looking for like 40 PMs out at Wells Fargo and somebody who had infrastructure and SDLC experience. And so I started looking at Vez's profile. I'm like, hey, let's connect. And then he came to the transition point meeting, and we stood there together at the transition point meeting and prayed over it and then submitted him. And 30 minutes later, he was the very first person to get an interview, very first person. They hired him off of a 30-minute phone screen.
Wow.
He was so impressive and so passionate and did everything we asked him to do. And he has just excelled out there.
So,
Yeah, I
okay,
love
wow,
that.
I
That's
love that.
so awesome.
See, I didn't hear some of the other backstory that went along with it. That's awesome. So I was like trying to take all this, with the hashtag and all that. No,
Yeah.
no. It was the prayer.
Right.
Forget the hashtag, guys. The prayer worked, okay? I'm just
Yes.
going to say.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hashtag too, though. Hashtag what you said. Hashtag what you said,
prayer.
bro.
Yes, please do. And I wouldn't have connected with him with that. That's how God connects people is there wasn't this divine message that showed up on my computer one day, hey, contact Vez Nicomo. Like, that's not how it worked. I had to be connected with him. And that's where you hear me say a lot. It's not enough to know the right people. You have to be the right person.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to do the right things. And Vez did everything he was supposed to do, and he was the right person.
Well,
You see why we like Andy Cook, you guys?
yeah, she tells the truth. She calls it
We
how
call this fearless feedback.
she does.
Fearless feedback. I like
Love
it.
it.
Like we were on, I had a post and then I can't even remember. We were going back and forth in the
About
comments.
VMSs
Yeah.
or ATSs.
Yeah, about the
Yeah.
ATS system, and you know what? I loved it. It was amazing because I'm trying to get the, all the perspectives, and she's done a lot of research and study on ATS systems and
Right.
all of this stuff. So we're gonna get to that in a second. Mark, I know you had somebody you want to shout out.
Yeah, I just we were talking about acronyms, right, and all that. And Randall, hopefully I pronounced this right, Beisel, he put in the comments, too many acronyms reduces your value. And yes, I think if you had like on your LinkedIn profile, if you had more acronyms and it doesn't even show them all because that's how many you have, I think that it would be very valuable. I do agree with you that you could actually partition that down to what you're trying to accomplish. So if you have the maybe one or two top acronyms that actually pertain to your search, put those on there. You could leave the rest off. Again, be intentional.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it has to go in your headline.
Headline,
Right.
yeah.
It doesn't have to go in your headline. You're eating up your headline with all those acronyms.
And it's searchable in
It-
like in the resume or in the body of your profile.
the about section.
Yes.
Yep.
The skills section, the education section.
Yep.
So I would recommend just picking a couple that are most relevant to your job search.
Yeah.
There you go.
Great
Boom.
comment, Randall.
All right, so let's
smart.
give a couple more shout outs in here real quick. Who do we got here? I always go to my computer because it's got the most up to date. The cell phone. Guys, LinkedIn, get with the program.
Patty Bashy is with us all the way from Arizona. Patty, you know,
Is she
you
here?
stick with us pretty good.
Yep.
She's
We like you. You
wonderful.
might be a secret, a closet Texan. I don't know.
Jordan Prince says, hashtag prayer.
Hashtag prayer.
That's what I'm talking about. Chris, we see you out here. Chris Renicky, how are you? Good to see you. Man, guys, we just love you. Would be
Chris
no show
Rennick,
without you.
I appreciate that shout out on LinkedIn. I do, man.
All right, and real quick before we get back to the show, I want to play one more commercial in here for. Can we play the commercial for Gita, please?
This is my first LinkedIn video. Hi, my name is Geeta Guru. I am currently graduate from Central Connecticut State University and I am eager to get my career starting in the accounting industry. Be on the lookout for more my content coming soon where I will be discussing why accounting plays such an important role in business. I am looking to grow my network and be active in LinkedIn. So please tag any recruiters or anyone else you think help me connect with my next success. Thank you in advance. Bye.
Gita, I like that. Is it Gita?
Geeta, round of applause for
Good
Geeta.
job.
I like that, Gita. You get out there and you do it.
You know what I'm talking about? Hey, that's all I'm saying, guys.
Yeah.
Like, hello, let's get Geeta a job. You know what I'm saying? Let's rock that. Accounting. Yep. So that's awesome. She has been debuted here for the first time on the Who You Know show.
Got here first.
Yeah. Well, no, this is it's here. It's here first. Yeah. And then we're gonna put it on our pages, and we'll get the posts out there so
Love
you
it.
guys can share it, like
What's
it.
Gita's last name?
You know I can't. You know I can't.
Why are you trying to trap him?
Spell it.
It's
Because I want people to connect with her. I like that.
Y'all need to tag her, okay? First name Geeta, Gita.
That's all.
Last name is Gurung. Gurung.
Okay.
I'm gonna sound it out. Gurung. So, guys,
You guys
tag
connect with Lee.
Geeta. Let her know that
Yeah,
she
let her know.
was
Yeah.
just debuted here on the Who You Know show.
There was something that grabbed my spirit about that. I like that. Gita, I'm going to connect with you. You probably want to run away. This foster guy, oh my God, he talks too much. He's crazy. But I will help you any way that I can, Gita.
Well, and you know what's so cool about that? It shows a can-do attitude,
Yes.
right?
Absolutely.
Because you know, guys, that was not easy for her, right? You could see it was not easy for her, but she
Absolutely.
did it anyway. So
English
for
is
those
probably
of
her
you,
second language, maybe even third
that's
language.
what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
For those of you that English is your first language, come on.
mine.
Where are you at? Where's your video at? Just saying.
Yes.
Just saying. Anyways,
Yeah. That's great.
That
So
was
let's
good. That
get
was.
to
I
Andy.
like that.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
Good day, Andy.
let's
I mean,
do
I've
it.
been just talking anyway.
Yeah,
so.
she's part of
Yeah.
it.
Oh, she's family.
Yeah.
Andy is
family.
short for Andrea, you guys.
Well,
Thank you, Foster.
Andy, we're
Andrea.
super excited
Is
to
it
have
Andrea?
you here with us.
Andrea, whatever.
Tell us a little bit about the changes that are going on with you, because you've had a lot of changes. Whew, she says.
How did we get connected with Andy? Where did we first meet?
So, Technology Prayer Breakfast.
Was it Matt Harrington? Did he do that?
Well, actually, so they do this really cool thing at the prayer breakfast where they have everybody go on their LinkedIn at the same time, because if you're all in the same room, so any networking event you're actually face to face for after we go back face to face. When you are all together, you can go to LinkedIn and set it to find people that are near you.
Find
and
nearby.
Yes. And
Yep.
so we all did that. And so after we connected, I started a conversation. He said, well, yeah, we do this show. And I was like, well, if you guys ever need somebody, he was like, absolutely.
Let's do it.
So it just kind of happened organically from there.
Who was that? Was that Mark, me,
It was
or
Mark.
Mark?
And then he
Mark.
sent me to book it, and then I connected with you. And
It was probably Hope.
No, I
But
think we
you like the
actually-
Chicago
we talked.
Bears, don't you?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
well, we have an assistant that
Oh.
handles
That-
our
yeah, a lot of the
Got
handles
it.
a lot of
I
our
hope,
LinkedIn
man,
communication.
Gita.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, we had, I mean, through
Fair.
DFW Technology Prayer Breakfast, I mean, Curry Nichols,
Yep.
Matt Harrington,
Absolutely.
Joe Garza,
Joe Garza.
Robert, right, who really organizes it. We've gotten connected in
Hunt,
really
Rob
good conversations in with all of
Yes.
them. So great group of people. Guys, if you are in technology or maybe even not, but want to check out a great event, it's annual DFW Technology Prayer Breakfast. They have a website. Check that out.
Great event.
Well, and they got Transition Point, which is over there at Matrix Resources,
And it's
you,
a ministry out of.
Yep.
Yep.
And you
Chuck
can find
Vanderwell.
that on our website, which is whoyouknow.show. We've got it there, so
Oh,
you guys
yeah.
can check that out.
I'm
Chuck
very, very
Vanderwell and
active in them.
BTNG is supporting all of that stuff. Are you linked in with Chuck Vanderwell? Chuck is our man from,
Yeah.
we hooked up with Chuck.
I am. We've had some great conversations. So yeah, I connected when I was working at Matrix, and like many people, back in April, I got hit in a layoff. There was a long story before that, a really cool testimony that back in February, I was feeling really called to ministry, but I wouldn't take that leap of faith. And there's 2 areas that you have to have in order to have mental, emotional, and spiritual freedom. And it is, you have to have a creative way to express yourself, and you have to be living out your purpose that you were called to do. And so all of a sudden, this recruiting career that I've had, that I've always been a top producer, I couldn't make a placement to save my life. I couldn't get people on the phone. It just wasn't working anymore. So when they hit layoffs, I was a natural first choice. And I wasn't upset because I knew immediately. In fact, 15 minutes after my call with them, I get this text. I get that verse of the day text that you can get if you text the word verse to 50700. And you get this really cool, it's always right on time verse. And so it said, God, basically God blesses those who trust him because they depend on him. And I was like, God, I hear you. So that day I allowed myself to just go through the feelings of job loss that happens with that, of this hurts, I just lost my work family. Part of my identity is in being successful. So now what? So day 1, process feelings. Day 2, dust off, let's go. And so I was ready to make a plan, and God told me just pray. So day 3 at 5 a.m., I woke up with a plan for Maximize Your Job Search. And I knew I wanted to help job seekers. That's been a passion of mine.
Yes, it has.
Even through recruiting, I was a different kind of recruiter. I always recruited backwards. I would find somebody and find them a job, more like a talent agent, as opposed to getting this job order and going and finding somebody, which is very different for agency recruiting especially. And so I knew that I had information that job seekers needed. And at first I had this great pricing structure, like any good business person. I got a business plan, and God just kept challenging me, trust me, trust me. So then I started free consultations. We'll do a 15-minute free consultation. At first it was COVID-19. Now it's, if you need a free consultation, book a free consultation. And then God challenged me more of let people pay whatever they can. And all of my services now, including my life coaching and my business coaching and all of that, is done on pay what you can, because I never want somebody left out based on that. And I'll use Vez as an example. Vez reached out to me. He said, Andi, I have a job. I want to pay for somebody else's service. And we
wow.
like people started this pay it forward and right?
Yeah.
Yes. And so I started seeing the really, really cool things in the community. Other people are like, hey, this is what I can pay now. When I get a job, I'm going to come back to you because this is helpful. And one thing I try to make sure is that when people walk away from a consultation with me, they have job skills, they're energized, they're passionate, and they're ready to go out there with a new and refreshed attitude. I want them to leave better than what they came to me.
I love that. I mean, think about, so the Who You Know show, going on 5 years, maybe 4.5 years now. The network, the summit, and the workshop that we do. We've hopefully touched thousands of lives.
I would say that's true.
Absolutely.
But I mean, Vez, I love that, by the way. Andi, what you're doing, but you know, it just, the mantra is pay it forward. I mean, we get so many people. How many of those thousands of people that we've interacted with are going out of their way to pay it forward? So note to you guys in the viewer audience, when you get landed, and you will, make sure that you stay engaged, stay in the network.
Yeah, don't just disappear. We see that all the time. There's a lot of people that just, and then 3 years later, they're like, hey, and they come out of the woodworks and they're like, hey, I need some help again, because they're back in the job search.
Look at the dynamics
and I'm like,
of corporate.
Man, I remember you. I remember you. Come on, I'll help you anyway. But look, guys, don't just disappear.
Something that I was challenged in my own growth this year was to look at every relationship I had and decide, am I a contributor or a consumer? And that I always want to be able to say, I am a contributor to this relationship. I'm not only taking from you, I am giving to you as well.
Okay.
So. Man, that's awesome.
Okay. Yeah, you got mic drops all over the place.
I love it.
I'd throw the thing.
Okay, I got some questions for you. Andi. All right, so.
Are we doing rapid fire?
Yeah, we're just gonna get this out here. Okay, so let me hear from you. What are the biggest mistakes you see from job seekers? Because you deal with them all the time. What are the biggest
now that's a good question.
Okay, so you and I have talked about this, ATS resumes not being formatted in a way that the ATS can read it. So I will say this, and this is where Trevor and I kind of box it out very kindly, but I do think you have to have a good resume, and it has to be readable by an ATS. And ATS does not have personal feelings about you. It is computer code. So it's a machine. You have to learn to speak ATS language, which means you're dealing with words. So when I get a resume, ATS is for some kind of witchcraft and sorcery, cannot read italics. They can't read headers and footers. They can't read tables or comments or graphics. It can read bold.
Can read bold, okay.
But it cannot read italics, which I recently learned
care.
that. And so and what will happen, a lot of people will put a hyperlink. So here's the difference. You can have your URL, your website address for LinkedIn. It recognizes that. But if you try to use a LinkedIn icon and tie it to your website, it will actually see you as a virus and reject you. You won't get notified. It actually sees you. And they're not going to notify you you're rejected because they think you're a virus. So you have to learn to speak the languages. And I told you this the other day. I think I've done 170 consultations since April 13th now. And none of the resumes came to me ready for an ATS.
None.
Not one.
None.
Well, no wonder y'all ain't getting through the black hole.
So
okay.
Even though they had
Event horizon.
And probably 40 of those had paid somebody else to do their resume.
Ooh.
And that's where I really structure. And I will tell you, if you have paid somebody else to do your resume, I don't require a receipt. I will redo your resume or at least tell you how to fix it for free. So please reach out to me. I will look over it. That's part of our free consultation, but I want you guys to get placed. I want you guys getting jobs. One of my favorite things to do is post a landing, and I always post them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So just goes to show you, I mean, if you are getting your resume in and it's getting viewed, there's only really two ways you can do it. You can either have it formatted correctly, and it sounds like nobody is, or it's a referral, which that's probably what you guys box it out on.
Well, yeah, I go over like, okay, here's what I hear. I hear 150 some odd people that and none of them had it right, right? So 150 some odd people, send it over to her, and then none of them were right. And so I'm like, okay, well, can we just get a human being like an Andy involved who can pull it out of the black hole, because it's it's in cyberspace. You're in the black hole, so that and I know she agrees with that statement too.
Absolutely.
That who you know is important, right? Who you know is important. Yeah, right there.
Yes.
But it is also important.
The mechanics of it have to be there too.
Because so here's a couple of things that happen if I give a referral. There's going to be two questions they ask me. How well do you know this person?
Right.
And have they applied online? If your resume was rejected because they thought it was a virus, they will never be able to go pull your application.
Won't be in there.
A virus.
So if it has a hyperlink in it and they thought it was a virus, if you're using too many graphics and whoever started this thing about putting emojis on resumes, I want to find them.
Look,
don't do it.
All she's saying is before you go outside, okay, before you submit your resume,
don't get a virus.
Okay, don't get a virus. Put your mask on.
No
Protect
COVID.
yourself.
Protect your resume.
Send your resume to Andi Cook so she can help you out.
Yes, it's so easy. It's really just keeping it simple. I always give two resumes. I give one. It's a one-pager. When you're networking, if you have a human that you're sending an email to, use your one-pager. It has your picture. It has a graph of your skills. It's really pretty. It's cute. Don't stress out that this other one is not aesthetically pleasing.
Your marketing document.
What we do is we make it very plain and simple, and we use bolding to guide your eyes because you have 8 to 10 seconds to make an impression on that resume. So they're skimming through. So we're very selective about what we bold. We get as much information on the front page as we can. And we do that in a way that after it does get through the ATS, they want to read it.
Love it.
What other, I guess, worst practices, right, that you see?
Outside of the resume would be LinkedIn, not utilizing it. So I know you guys teach this. I teach this. Kirsty Bonner teaches this. I'm a huge fan of hers.
Yeah.
She's somebody, if you could ever get on the show.
Who's that?
Kirsty Bonner.
You gonna connect me?
I don't know her.
Come on, girl.
She is the #1 resume writer in the world. She's out of the UK. She's phenomenal.
Yeah, she is.
I use a lot of her practices. I take her webinars every time she offers them. But so LinkedIn, how you post, it rewards your activity. So how you post, making sure your posts are at least 12 words long. How you comment, making sure your comments are at least 8 words long. honors engagement. It promotes engagement. So making sure you have all-star status, which simply means that all of the fields are filled out, that you have a current job posted. If you don't have a current job, you simply go in there and put hashtag O&O as your company name. That's a Kirsty Bonner trick. And then seeking, HR specialist position as your job title. But going and making sure those things so that you're appearing in recruiter searches. They are looking for you, but you're being ranked based on how well you score on keywords and how well you're engaged. Making sure that so I see this a lot. People will have a LinkedIn banner that has a quote on it that doesn't really tell me anything about you. So I always, when I'm working with people, I go and do digital graphics for them. I want to look at it. I want to see your name on that banner. I want to see what you do on that banner. I want to see your email address on that banner. If you don't know how to do it in Canva, reach out to me. I do it as part of my services.
Whoa, she's doing Canva.
Canva.
She's rocking it on Canva.
So Melody Robinson has one.
Shout out Melody.
We love you, Melody.
Dominique has one. Francesca, she has one, and they're all very different. I always go in and customize it. Francesca does QA in manufacturing. Hers is industrial. With Melody, she's a little bit different because she's in HR, but she does data. So we really made her more data driven because she kept getting all these talent acquisition calls.
Yeah.
So we really branded her more towards data. Make sure your LinkedIn profile is branded. What do you want people to think of when they hear your name or see your face?
I love that.
Right.
Yep.
So, Andy, there's a lady who is not on LinkedIn, when she is on Facebook, and she keeps getting these big corporations that call her. She now works for Marriott. All of this, I don't even know where they're finding this little girl. But you know what? It proves that there's a God. This little girl, I want to introduce you to her because you guys will have, while she's here, I'm going to barbecue with Hannah Williams, and she looks like me. And guys, she is constantly getting jobs and all of this stuff. She's a leader now, a call center leader from Marriott. But I want her to meet Andy because I feel an explosion coming. There's been so many blessings that this little girl has gotten. So I just wanted to throw that out there, and I want to introduce you to Hannah.
She looks like you?
She looks just like me.
Are you picturing? Yeah.
I don't know what I'm picturing right now.
Oscar in a dress.
My whole mind is like, what is going on?
Cars and space and all the stuff.
That's what you're picturing, right? I get it.
Let's not go there.
So, Hannah, I hope you're watching because Dad is just messing you up right now.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, Andy, real quick.
Yes.
Because we got a few more minutes here. The audience, if they want to connect with you or get connected or get to some of your resources, what's the best way for you? What's the best way to reach you?
I drive everybody to my website for a reason because it helps me stay organized. Otherwise, I overbook appointments so I don't take impromptu calls anymore because it was driving my day and my day was controlling me instead of controlling my day. Yes. So I drive everybody to my website, book a free consultation. You can book it right there. You don't have to pay anything up front. No matter what. So how it works with the pay what you can. So on my website, you'll see suggested pricing. After we meet and we decide exactly what we're going for, I make a Trello board. I just started this process and I share it with you.
Trello.
Exactly. Patty gave me that one. So I just shared one with Melody. It has everything that we're going to be doing during her job search so we can track that. But then I invoice you. You pay what you can. I mark the rest paid in full. So go ahead and book an appointment. You're not obligated to pay anything up front, and it's the best way to get on my calendar. And
I love that. I'm gonna start sending some big invoices out there, and they'll just be like, "Pay what."
Exactly, just pay what you can.
$10,000.
And you'll run across a person that will pay.
You're worth all of that money.
All of it.
You're worth all the money
you guys
in the world.
can tell.
My pricing is so low though because I've been a job seeker. I remember what it's like.
Yeah.
So my standard, just reviewing your resume, telling you how to fix it, is $40. And then if I actually have to do your resume for you, which I don't mind, but it's $100. We can come up with $100.
Yeah.
And
what have I been thinking? These minutes.
Look, guys, I want to.
And I'm telling you, God has blessed it.
If you can invest in yourself, right, and leverage brilliant minds like Andy here,
Yes.
you're going to get farther along quicker than trying to do it on your own. And there's a lot of do it on your own, self-starting, go to YouTube, figure it out. There's a lot of good information, a lot of bad information out there, and you're going to have to siphon through it to figure out what's real, what's not.
Yes.
But the ultimate result, if you're trying to do it all on your own, is it's just going to take you longer to get to that result. You get with an Andy, right? And you're going to get there faster. So my question,
and have more support.
And more support. And my question to you is, do you want to take the long way, or do you want to get the shortcut and get there faster?
Andy is supercharging for you Mopar guys out there like me, the drag racers.
Just saying.
I love it.
So thank you so much.
Thank you, Andy.
Always.
We just love you. You're awesome.
I love
You're
y'all.
always welcome to come back.
That's value right there, sitting right there in that pink chair.
Yep. All that pink. Okay.
All of it.
So real quick before we go, let's give some more shout outs. And
Shout out.
guys, remember
Meg Rose.
to hit that share button on your way out. Okay, before you click off of this thing, right? Remember to hit that share button. Mark says it every time. Sharing is caring.
Angie Figueredo, we love
Smash
you.
that
We
button.
know you're out in Arizona
Jason,
with Patty Bashy, but we love you. I got to introduce you to Patty Bashy.
Let's see who we got here.
We
Yep.
had.
Can I answer that question
I
for
lost a
Jason?
comment, but we missed somebody. Somebody was watching from London.
Oh, I love it.
I don't
So
even know what time it is there. but-
Jason asked a question about do agencies get IT management roles during, yes, they do. Not all agencies get them, but they will. So stay in touch with 4 or 5 different agencies. And but working your network is always, the people you know is always going to be the first option, but definitely reach out to some agencies.
Got Tammy. She says, Andy Cook, you are amazing.
Aw.
Love
You're
that you're
amazing,
finding
Tammy.
ways to help so many people. Love that.
Holly-
Fanny Dunnigan. Oh, what's up?
Hey, Fanny.
Holly Gordon is with us.
Hey.
love this.
Holly. Hey,
What a
girl.
great audience.
Yes, guys, we love you. Fanny, I heard you were here in the studio today. Jeff Crilly told us you were
Oh,
here.
really?
So
Yep.
we
And I
just
want to give
missed
a special shout out. She made the announcement already,
Who that?
but she's come through the Who You Know Network.
Who that?
And Tammy
Oh.
Walquist.
Hey.
She didn't find a job yet,
Oh.
but
You will, though, Tammy.
But
I
she
guarantee
found a
you will.
husband.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
She found a husband. She went out to North Carolina, North Kakalaki,
North Kakalaki?
and
Flapjack.
and out there, her boyfriend got on a knee, and I guess popped
Love
the
it.
question.
Oh, wow.
I can't fix your
Congratulations.
LinkedIn profile for that.
Congratulations, Tammy. I
All
told you I
things
was gonna
happen
give you
in
a
the
shout
job
out.
Love
search.
it.
I'm noticing.
Congratulations.
You know.
Yolanda, what's going on? We got Caroline. What up? We love all y'all. John
Simonac.
Hopton, what's up, John?
Hey, Caroline.
Ken Lehman. Oh, Ken says he's the head of registration for the DFW Technology
He
Prayer
is.
Breakfast.
Ken
So
is great.
Connect with Ken Lehman, L-E-A-M-A-N.
Oh, Ken's awesome. Yes.
If you are interested in the DFW Technology Prayer
Lisa.
Breakfast.
Caroline
Sorry.
Simonek's in New York City.
Hey, real quick, guys, another thing, too. Remember, I asked you this earlier. If there's somebody that you think would be a good fit for the show, right? They're a good resource. They're helping people. Maybe they're an influencer. They're creating impact and change. They're a good, strong voice that can really help to add a little more fire to the show. I would love to just have those introductions, guys. All you got to do is you can do a virtual introduction or message on LinkedIn. Introduce us, guys. We'd love to see if there's a spot for them on the show. We'd love that. So,
Love it.
all right. Well, guys, that's the show.
That is.
All
Thanks
It's
for
all
having me.
about who ya know.
I rushed that.
Bye.
You companies call me. I got ideas.
Bye. Credits still rolling.